What coming to you live from JDM Hawaii, and I know a lot of people like to comment that this looks like a Pizza Hut, and it's because it once was, but now this is where you go to get your JDM fix. No more pizzas. Now we're slinging Kei cars, Kei Vans, Daihatsu mirror walkthrough. Let's not forget the Kei trucks, and there's some full-size models over here as well. So in today's video, we're going to do one of my favorite style videos, and we're going to go over my favorite type of Kei vehicle, and that is Kei Vans. So in my opinion, the Kei car cycle goes a little something like this. The first car you most likely learn about is a Kei truck. These are often the cheapest out of the Kei trucks, Kei cars, Kei Vans. There's even specialty ones like this Daihatsu mirror walkthrough. And then you have the Kei sports cars like the Beat, the Cappuccino, the AZ1. I, like most people, bought a Kei truck first. It was cool. It was a two-seater though. Living in New York City, I had absolutely no use for the bed. I didn't love that I could only fit one person inside. I only had one speaker, which was right here. Mine also happened to be a 4-speed, which I learned looking back is definitely not the way you want to go if you have a daily driver. So I end up selling that one, and that's when I bought my Mitsubishi Bravo. And I didn't know at the time, but buying that Bravo really stemmed and planted the seed to where we are today. Having the ability to have 4 people in the car. Mine had power windows all around, had speakers in the back, dual sliding doors, of course. These seats end up flipping the other way. I can put these down and turn them into a bed. It was really the perfect daily. And 20 Kei cars later, I feel the same way. Yes, Kei trucks have their purpose if you do a lot of work or you just need to pick up bed. Same goes for Kei cars. Like, this is a nice little hot hatch. If you need a daily, this is also a great option. But this Daihatsu Miragino, this Daihatsu ACTY, yes, they both have 4 doors. Yes, they both sit 4 people. But trunk space is very minimal, even if you put these seats down, in comparison to a Kei van where you can have your 4 passengers, extremely cozy, and you have all this room back here. And in my opinion, I think the best part about owning a Kei car is the cab over wheel. Now let's go over the different models that we have in this video. So we have a HiJet, a Mitsubishi Minicab. These are very identical, along with this Honda ACTY. All 3 of those Kei Vans are essentially the same thing, just different badges. One might be 4-wheel drive, one might be 2-wheel drive, essentially the same engine. So remember, those 3 vans that are white are pretty much the same thing. Let me show you guys some of the different Kei Vans though before we go deeper into each one. So unlike the Honda ACTY van, this is a Honda Street. So Street is the higher trim model. Instead of having a bench seat, you have this split seat with an armrest. And then up here you have a clock, tachometer. This one also has California mirrors. But you'll see later in this video that this is a completely different trim in comparison to the very base Honda ACTY. Remember, this is a Honda Street. This one over here, although it's not white, is also another Honda ACTY. The easiest way to tell, honestly, bench seat. If it has a bench seat, it's an ACTY. This one has a clock. Cluster, you can also tell, doesn't have the RPM, so this is also another ACTY. In comparison to the Silver Street over here, again, split seat, tack, clock. This one also has California mirrors. And then right next to that, we have a Suzuki Every. Again, a higher trim model. Really what it comes down to is if you see a split seat in the back, that's a higher trim model. That's not the base. And then lastly, this Daihatsu Atari. That one, I'll save it for last, but that one might be my favorite. So first van we're gonna be looking at is this Honda ACTY. Most times these are in white. They're not in that 2-tone gray or the green or even the silvers that are back there. This one is also 2-wheel drive. The easiest way to tell, although someone can swap over the wheel, is that it doesn't say full-time 4-wheel drive where the Honda logo is. This one, like I mentioned, because it's a Street, has the bench seat, and then this pops up like that. You pull this guy and it goes forward. This one has roll-up windows all around. 88,000 kilometers, no tack, does have AC, no clock. Basically the perfect blank canvas for someone to trick out. Also really good for a mail carrier route. No fog lights, no Cali mirrors. Just your standard white Kei van. Next, and very identical to that, we have this twin cam Daihatsu HiJet van. So again, this isn't in a Tri, this is a Daihatsu HiJet. So this is another work van. Again, the easiest way to tell, although it does have a cool pattern, it doesn't have a split seat like the Tri does. This guy, just like the ACTY, very clean, manual windows all around. I do have to say about this one in comparison to the HiJet and the Minicab over there, this guy is a twin cam 12 valve, so it's much faster than both those vans. No, it's not turbo, no, it's not supercharged, but the twin cam HiJets are quick. Now onto the driver's side. Pretty clean again. 60,000 kilometers, AC of course, and then just like the ACTY, this would be the 4-wheel drive button. This guy is 2-wheel drive. Both of them are 5-speed. Pretty clean. Again, another blank canvas. And then the third van, identical to both of those, is this Mitsubishi. So I want you guys to comment below which one you would take between these three, because you can't really compare it to the higher trim models. I want to take a picture of that and see what it says. But this guy's automatic. Also is 2-wheel drive. The 4-wheel drive indicator would be here. Has a power mode, which is pretty cool. 23,000 kilometers. No fog lights, of course. Does have AC. That's a necessity when you're in Hawaii. Again, like I've been telling you guys, bench seat, no split seat. In my Bravo, this interior was essentially completely different. I had cubbies there, power windows. I had a tack that went all the way up to 12,000. This was your fog light button. This was your rear hatch lock button. But then all this was pretty much the same. I think if I had to choose between the three, I'd probably go with the Mitsubishi. That car drives really good, but it looks too similar to the truck. You see, it's like essentially the same exact thing, literally actually. Twin cam, same bumper, same everything. And then I just feel like the Minicab looks better. Love the fact that it has that as well, but even if that was on the HiJet, I'd probably still take this. And then you really just don't see Minicabs a lot. This is not a van you see often. Even the Bravos you don't see often. Let me take a picture of this before we move on. So it says that, if you guys can see. For demonstration purposes, I do want to put this seat down just so everyone can see. Each of them fold down completely flat. So here's how it looks on the Minicab. Nice and complete. Here's how it looks on the HiJet. And I also want to add another reason that I love the van so much. I'll get my measuring tape out here. This is 6 foot by 4. Essentially, this is a K truck, just with more room to put your seat back. But the bed is pretty much the same thing. 6 feet, 72 inches, and that's a room to spare. I could probably put both these seats up, get a couple more inches. Same goes for the Minicab. 72 inches with some room to spare. And then let's drop the seats on this ACTY. Pull the tape measure out, and what do you know? 6 feet. And then width-wise, like I said, we are at 4 feet essentially. 48 inches. And now if we go to a K truck, I'll measure the bed and show you guys exactly how much space we have. So from here to the end of the bed, we got a little more than 6 feet. So 6 foot 6 inches. And then width-wise, again, about 4 foot 5 inches. So basically, you can say a Kei Van is just an enclosed K truck with 2 additional seats, lots of extra leg room because you're able to slide these a lot more back, and all this cargo room. Before we move on to the higher trim models, I think it's only right that I sit in each of them, show you guys how much leg room is in each van. We're gonna start off with the HiJet. I am 5'9", 190. My left knee is about 7 inches from the radio, and then on the right side I'm closer to maybe 9 inches from the nearest plastic. I also want to add, with the window down, this isn't in my way. There's nothing on the door card that is stabbing my leg. I have to say, you could easily be 6 foot. I think, and sit in one of these vans with no problem. A lot of people get in K trucks and they feel like vans are the same thing space wise, but vans for the most part are a lot more comfortable. I'll hop in a truck once I'm done with these 3 vans, but let's hop in the Minicab. We're looking at, again, close to 7 inches on my left knee, about 8 on my right. But as you can see, let me put this window all the way down first. This is touching my knee. It isn't up here like on the HiJet, so I can see this being annoying. Also, this is a little too close to me. I wouldn't call it an armrest, so that can also maybe stab you when you're driving. But space-wise, besides those 2 things, I would have to say, again, very roomy. And then before I hop in the ACTY van, let me show you what it looks like in an ACTY truck. So this seat, all the way back, You can just tell from the camera, look how close I am. So we're maybe 4 inches on my left knee, 7 on my right, and look at this. Absolutely worst placement. Hitting my knee. This luckily is pretty higher than the Minicab, but there's not that much room. Seat doesn't go back. Don't have a closed bed behind me. Now let's hop in the Honda ACTY van and let's see if we get a bit more room. On the truck I had about 4 inches. Here I have closer to 8, and then on this side I have maybe 10, maybe the most room on the right side. This is all kind of the same position. I think the door cards are all about the same, but if I had to vote between the 3 vans, which one was the most comfortable, I'd have to go with the HiJet. Now let's start talking about some vans with some very cool features. So first and foremost, we have a silver Honda Street. Right off the back, we have this nice chrome bar. We got a step on this side, step on that side, California mirrors which help with the visibility. These streets also come with double sunroof. This one happens not to have it, but still a very clean van. You can see here, no more bench. We now have the option to do this. 1 seat up, 1 seat down. You have 3 people in the car. Can't really do that with the Honda ACTY because of the bench seat, so that's a big pro. Not only that, you got an armrest. These 2 people back here are not just sitting on a bench seat, very uncomfortable. They got a little space now. Still no rear seat belts. We get those starting at $99. Some of the Atris and some of the vans do have them. Luckily, JDM Hawaii also can install them in any van you buy, but they do not come with rear seat belts factory. This one, beautiful cluster, beautiful clock. All this is essentially the same. Really the biggest differences between a Honda ACTY and a Street is 1, this is sometimes, but 2, that is sometimes 3, and the hugest difference, this right here. I feel like having these rear seats, in my opinion, if I'm buying a Kei van, is almost mandatory, but for me it's more of a daily. If you just want a van to get around town, you're not going to drive it as much as I am, you're not going to go on crazy road trips, but for me it's kind of a necessity. Both vans that I've had both had the split seat in the middle. Some other differences that you really have to focus on a lot of the Streets, it'll have 3 keyholes. So you see 1 there, 1 there, and 1 on the other side. And on this guy, I'm not 100% sure, but I wouldn't be shocked, if it only had 2. So look, just little things like that. You know, they try to make the Streets a little better, but you can see no bars, no California mirrors, no tack, no clock, no split seat. Now let's talk about the Daihatsu Atari. So this one has the same engine as the HiJet back there, twin cam. This one just looks completely different. Daihatsu made a couple versions of these. They have the Legroom, which is only a 3-door. This one isn't a Atari. I'm not gonna spill the beans right away, but I will have to say, I'll just give you guys a sneak hint. This might be my favorite van in the video. Curious to see what you guys are gonna say, but here's how the front end looks. We got fog lights, complete different front end, California mirrors, which is always great. Has a nice RT logo. A lot of the Streets, the Tris, more of the higher trim models, same with the Everys, they usually all have decals on the side, unlike the base model like the ACTY van or the HiJet cargo van. So you can see this one has the 4-wheel drive button. This one surprisingly doesn't have a tack. I think that is very shocking, honestly, because this has almost every feature. Fog lights, 4-wheel drive, AC, split seat, even has a crazy cool speaker back there. Has high-low, which is pretty rare in the vans, but surprisingly, doesn't have a tack. This one also doesn't have power windows. Yeah, this one is missing a couple features. A lot of these Atari have power windows all around, but another good feature about this one in comparison to the HiJet, it's really the little things, it has 2 door speakers. The HiJet does not. Back here, just like the other models, we got a split seat, armrest. This goes down. Let's say you just need to tow something there. You got your 3rd passenger. God, I love those speakers up there. It looks OEM. I think someone just did an amazing job, but maybe that is a Daihatsu factory option. But either way, here's the Atari. Before I show you guys the Suzuki Every, let's go back to this one. Twin cam. Interior essentially the same, but no speakers here. We only get 1 little dash speaker right there. No 4-wheel drive button. Same cluster. Manual windows all around. And then completely different front end. No fog lights, no cool grill, no graphic on the side, just your get to the point Kei van. And then the first Suzuki on the list, first and foremost, cool 90s decal. This one I believe is turbo, which is also a really great option. I'll see if I put a picture on the screen of a normal Suzuki van. It'll have the bench seat, of course, but this one, because it's the higher trim model, you have like this funfetti stripe pattern. One seat goes down, manual windows all around. I like a manual windows all around. I like that the Suzukis have this little storage cubby up there. Love the fact that this is like a sage. It might look gray on camera, but all this is like a grayish green. Again, no RPMs. So there is a higher model. Actually, there is. There's an aero version of this that comes turbo as well. Has a different front bumper. I show it on the screen right now. But yeah, now let me sit in each of them, see which one has the most room. We'll start off with the Suzuki. See all the way back. The Suzuki clusters come out a lot further. This is about 10 inches out further. So I have about 6 inches on my left knee and maybe 6 inches on my right knee. This isn't hitting me though, which is a good sign. This is right under my knee, so I can see maybe on a long drive this could get uncomfortable. Next we have this Honda Street, which will be exactly the same. Just because it has all those trim pieces does not equal extra leg room, so we're good. 7 inches on my left knee, maybe 9 or 10 on my right. Again, pretty spacious. And now let's see if the Tri has even more room than the HiJet over there. This one also has doilies, which you guys know how I feel about that. And it says Daihatsu on there. But let's see, same amount of room or even more. Okay, this is all the way back. About 7 inches and maybe 10, 11 on my right side. Again, this is positioned very far away from my knee. There's nothing in the way. So yeah, comment below. Out of the 3 loaded vans, which one would you take? Daihatsu Atari, twin cam, 4-wheel drive, split seat, doilies, spoiler, nice graphic, rims. Suzuki Every, 50/50 taillights, rims, nice graphic, very clean interior. This has some Fast and the Furious mods. Look at this, TVs on both sides. Looks like it once had speakers up there too, so whoever buys this, hope you fill that thing back up with speakers. But a clean van. I believe this one is full-time 4-wheel drive as well, AC of course. 50,000 kilometers. Almost finished this video without going over some of my favorite features on vans. So you see that right there? That's for the rear heat. If you press this button while you have the heat on, this will come on. That vent right there, and it'll blow hot air. I don't believe it does cold. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Usually it would say rear heat, but I just see a rear fan. So maybe it even has rear AC, which would be baller. Also, another great feature on the Vans is that you can put the window down up to here. And then with this, it's kind of different on every model, but you see I'm turning it clockwise. If I hold that while winding the window, it'll go completely down like this, which is longer than my entire arm. This is one of my favorite features when it comes to Kei Vans. Just imagine having your homies back there and their whole body essentially can go through this thing. So those are 2 things I cannot end this video without mentioning. The ACTY has a little pull tab. Pretty much you roll this down. Right when it locks, you have to go up a little bit to give it some play. Then you pull this while rolling this down, and boom. Windows all the way down. And then again, you have the rear heat button on this Honda Street and not on this Honda ACTY. So empty button there. This would be fog lights. That'll be rear heat. And then on the HiJet, I don't see a lever, so I don't believe this window will go all the way down. It'll probably stop, yeah, right there for the safety lock. And this guy also does not have a rear heat button. And then here's a look at the Atari. There's no rear heat button on this guy either. Yeah, there's no fans under here. So yeah, this is missing a couple features. It doesn't appear you can put the window all the way down on these guys. I haven't owned a Daihatsu van, so I guess that's something they didn't do. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Let's say that all the base model vans are 8,000, and then the streets, the Everys, and the Tri are closer to like 10, 11. Do you care for the additional features? Do you really need this chrome step? Do you really need the California mirrors? Do you really need the clock? Do you need the tack? Do you need the split seat? Does it really make no difference to you? Comment below. I would love to get you guys' opinions. Like I said, these are my favorite videos to make. We are still going to do the same with the trucks next. And then I want to talk about these 3 jumbos. So we have Super Jumbo, 99 Jumbo, and then older generation S83 Jumbo. But thank you guys for watching. As you can see, it is hot. Road to 40K, road to 100K. We're still in Hawaii making great videos. Catch you on the next one. Peace. Got some bonus footage for you guys. Here's another Suzuki Every. So here's the front bumper I was talking about. This one is turbo. This one also has fog lights. Let's see if it has power windows. It should at least, yeah, it at least has power windows on the front. This one also has rear heat. This one also has a tack. Now we're talking. Besides that though, pretty much the same. Like I said, a story cubby there. No TVs on those 2 sides. And then thankfully, because I'm at the repair shop, we got another van to talk about. So here's a Subaru Sambar. This one isn't fully loaded because it doesn't have fog lights. But this guy's a DS, has the cool roof. Suzuki and Mitsubishi and Subaru are the only ones that have the cool glass roof. This one has a defroster, no rear heat, does have AC, does not have a tack, is not supercharged. Oh wait, it does have rear heat right here. My bad. As you guys know, I haven't owned a Subaru yet, which I find blasphemous. But again, this one is not a base model. Not only that, Slater, as you can see, installed rear seat belts. And out of all the Kei Vans we saw in this video, this is the only one with stock cup holders. You can see the rear heat right there. Cup holders. This slides completely open, which is pretty dope. Who doesn't want all that additional visibility? And as you can see right there, that's what the fully loaded Suzuki looks like. And then this is what a normal one looks like. I'm gonna show you guys the front end. Basically looks like the truck. No fog lights, no scoop for the intercooler. That's what the middle is. And then here's another Subaru. This one does have fog lights. This one is also supercharged and full-time all-wheel drive, which means you get this very cool cluster. Tachometer, supercharged there. There's your battery. Does have manual windows all around. Does have the rear heat. Pretty clean. An interesting fun fact is that this Suzuki right here, this Suzuki right there, and this Suzuki right here are all the same exact thing. So this one, a lot of people, whenever they see the VW kit, automatically assume it's a Subaru Sambar, but Suzuki also got the kit. So here's how this one looks. This is the customer's car, so I can't open it, but you can see on the inside, this is not how a Subaru looks like. This is how a Suzuki looks like. I'll show you guys once I walk over to the other one. But this guy also has a tack, which is pretty cool. It's 3-speed automatic, not CVT. But you can see when we open this guy, identical. All this is the same.
Remember the name. This is way before the fame.